Welcome, beautiful divine masculine and feminine darlings. This is the Seraph M. Gem Gypsy, Seraph Indigo Empress, and Shiloh Horizon. I won't be here for too long. I actually was just making a protein drink, and I was on my way into the shower after getting off the yoga mat for a couple of hours. And while I was on the mat this morning, I picked up a couple of downloads, and there are two little spots in a video, a dance video that I have been working on behind the scenes that I plan to put out probably today. We'll see. I have to have a chat with the holy angels and God about the timing and the schedule. I don't do anything without talking to God first. Anything. But I got two messages, two quotes that I was called to place in this video. But I had to go pull them off the computer. I had to go search them online. There's one that I used in a video years ago, and it's a quote about people throwing bricks or stones at a queen who uses them to build her castle or her empire. And I've posted this repeatedly before. And the other one was something along a similar vein. That was the topic today. And so I quickly typed in stones, throw, castle, queen into Google. And what popped up first, the first thing, the very first picture, I took screenshots. And then just out of curiosity, I looked it up on my phone to see if it would pull up the same. And it is. But that's because this person has been stalking me so much, this local, that was the first thing that popped up on Google. But you see, YouTube runs through Google. YouTube uses Google, okay? And my YouTube is set to send me content that people who watch me and stalk me are buying, are Googling, are searching, or are watching, and they're watching me. And this is also how Facebook works, and now even Instagram, because Facebook was bought by, or Instagram was bought by Facebook. When you search people's friends list, the algorithm will send your profile to them to request or to offer and recommend that they add you as a friend. Basically, if you're stalking someone online, the app lets them know about it. Especially if you don't even have mutual friends and somebody random keeps popping up in your profiles, especially if you have nothing else in common, that's usually because they were continually stalking your profile. So the algorithm thinks, well, this person's so interested in you, maybe you want to be friends, and then they send that friend recommendation in the algorithm. That's how it works. But mine is set to send me stuff that people who watch me are interested in. And this particular person, whose post on Instagram was the first thing to pop up, the first photo to pop up on both the phone and the computer, because I checked both, is the same one who's been plagiarizing me and stalking me for years. This is the same one who quit her day job at the domestic violence center where I went to get help and protection, where she was being paid at her day job to be an advocate. Glorified receptionist is really what she was, and not good at her job anyway, clearly, otherwise she wouldn't have done this. But she quit her job at the domestic violence center where she was being paid to protect me or help advocate in protecting me from certain people, to go ally against me with those same people she had previously been paid to advocate in protecting me from. And my child, by the way. So she ganged up on me with the criminals and quit her day job at the domestic violence center to start a cult full-time where she claims to do everything that I do, from past life regression to being a healer and all this stuff. She's not. This is the same one who's stolen my custom-drawn art designs off of my Instagram and then gone on different applications like Facebook to advertise paint and sip classes where she wanted people to come pay her so she could teach them how to further plagiarize my stolen artwork. This is that one. And the reason that, not only because she keeps stalking my profile to steal my content, the reason her her photo was the first one to pop up is because she recently posted something on Instagram. It said from November 1st, but it's something that I've been speaking about here for years, but also again recently the last few months and weeks. So just within the last month, she's still plagiarizing me. She copied my words that I've spoken here on YouTube, made a little poster on it with some app on her phone to post on Instagram, but she's copying my words, trying to copy who I am, claiming that she's a queen at that, when I literally have royal bloodline in my genetics and veins right now. I made a few jokes, actually, a few weeks ago. And I said something about when life gives you lemons, you freeze them and throw them at your enemies. And I was joking. That was a joke. Because somebody who's actually tried to come back here recently and suck up to me in the comment sections after getting what they wanted from me and then trying to leave me high and dry previously, a so-called friend, who I've been ignoring those comments of, by the way, 622. One time, this person tried to advise me to freeze a lemon because basically the lemon was symbolizing these, or it was a souring spell. You try to sour somebody's life with a lemon and then you freeze it to stall their life out. That's what she advised me to do. I did not do that. In fact, that's when I finally said, no, I've had enough of you. Because I felt that animosity anyway. That was the last straw for me. So I was joking about that. But I've also repeatedly said, a real queen turns pain into power. A real queen takes the stones and the bricks that other people takes the stones that other people tried to throw at her and uses them as bricks to lay a new foundation, build her castle, build her empire. I've said that. My OGs, my people who've consistently been here have heard me say that. And just as of the last few weeks, she's taken all those little quotes that you've consistently heard me say here, mashed them up into one little post and put them on Instagram on November 1st. She's doing it again. And so she quit her job at the Domestic Violence Center to gang up on me with people who've been calling me crazy for doing what she's claiming to do, being a past life regressionist, being a psychic medium, everything that she's faking that I really do. They tried to say I was crazy for. So they don't actually have a problem with it, as long as it's not me that's getting the success in it. As long as they think that they can copy what they perceive as a blueprint of some kind from me and get success with it, they don't have a problem with these things. They tell people do if they think people will bully me for it. But really, they want to be me. This broad is straight up trying to wear my skin. This is the same one who heard me talk about, people are crazy, dude. Everything from fairy houses to, I did a reading where vision boards came out. And the next week she was posting something about advertising a vision board class. And she posted her own vision board as an example of what the class what the final product would be. But the problem with this, and there are screenshots of this, strange for change, is that everything that she said that she wanted for her own life, that she was trying to manifest in her own life, on this vision board, it was me. It was my life. She said she wanted a skinnier body also, and she put a picture, if I recall, it was of a brunette girl even. But if it wasn't a brunette girl, it was somebody with my frame, my body type and frame. This is a larger, overweight person. This is the person who goes and gets cosmetic procedures and then tries to tell people it's just pranic healing, it's just energy healing, but it's not. She's a scam. Somebody's asking what kind of cosmetic procedures. I would say from Botox to fillers, and then also there are these machines that basically the thought process behind it is that it mimics liposuction, but it's not with surgery. It's with this like machine that does something to the cells or something. So instead of going to, take care of their bodies, eat right, work out, this is an alcoholic, I'd say also, the whole paint and sip thing. again, that came up this morning, you know, that slows down your whole system and metabolism and what have you. Also, alcohol is processed in your body and your body turns it into straight sugar. So there's that. It's just more carbs. And you do what you want, but don't sit there and be mad at me and then try to destroy my life and copy me because you wish you could be me. That's psychotic. I didn't get to where I am or be who I am by doing what you're doing. Actually, quite the opposite. And that's why you are who you are and why you are where you are and why you will never be me. This would be, hold on, let me. Yeah, okay, I'm cautious about speaking people's names because people want to chase clout, but this one has committed so many crimes with people just between the domestic violence stuff. And even if she doesn't like me, even if she did quit her day job at the domestic violence center, the unethical and immoral thing to do is go hang out with or associate with people who are abusing somebody. And even if she did quit her job, you're not supposed to go as a ex-domestic violence employee and have any association with the people who you were at one point paid to advocate against. Very unethical. And she made a point to say that she believes that ethics is of the utmost importance, but she didn't even use the correct term. It's utmost with a T, not a P. These people who want to sit there and copy me and insult me can't even spell. The one who joined her little cult is the one who tried to bully me online repeatedly, but couldn't even spell entrepreneur. Had something to say about my entrepreneurialism, but could not spell entrepreneur. It's a pattern with these people. This is the cult witch who tried to send deities and demons and call different powerful beings, but she was calling on, whether she knew it or not, some of my ancestors, including, whether she knew it or not, some that she has tattooed. Actually, she's got one of my past lives tattooed on her. So yeah, I would say that's a copycat. Here's the thing too, since I am actually a past life regressionist, I can tell you in what year and who I was in the life where she was, well, she was running a cult. She was mad at me for doing what I do. See, internet didn't exist in this era, but I did do public ceremonies as a medium, and I helped people, and I healed, and I worked with the spirits, and yeah, I also believed in God at that point too. But everything that she's doing now, or that she's ganged up with others to do now, is what she did in a different life. It didn't work out well for her then either. People still worship me in that life today. People still revere me. Fear or revere and respect. It's well earned in every life, honey. But crazy, crazy bat. Okay, somebody who's old enough to be, I'd say probably my mother, at least, too old to be behaving like this. But this would be Angie Butler Welsh. Angie Butler, she quit the domestic violence center day job to join this cult, which really consisted, as far as I understand, based on the newspaper article that popped up about it years ago, like many years ago now, was that this guy had a church, he was a Native American guy, church following of like 2,000, and basically she just jumped in on his. She's a leech. She's a leech. But in her vision board, she said she wanted to lose weight and have certain goals. Well, everything that she wrote that she wanted was what I already had or had already been in progress of attaining, that these people tried to block or steal from me. Even down to the body image and the body type she wanted. The picture of the girl on the board that she put on there looked like me. This is somebody who, witchcraft, believes in destiny swapping and energy harvesting. So they'll do things spiritually to try to mess with people, but they also have no problem messing with people behind the scenes, breaking the law, committing crimes against them, filing false legal allegations against them, whatever they need to do to try to project their shortcomings and their guilt onto someone else so that they can try to take the blessings and the freedom that comes with an innocent person, as long as they're trying to pretend to be innocent. It's so sad. You know what? What was that song? You're still trying to pretend. Burning Down. You said that I was wanted for all the fires you started. You knew the house was burning down. Well, I had to get out. Yeah. Ah. To all your saints and sinners, you fed them lies for dinner. You knew the house was burning down. Well, I had to get out. Why? You said that you would pray for me. You were praying on my downfall. You said that you would pray for me, P-R-A-Y. You were praying, P-R-E-Y. Praying like a predator on my downfall. What's wrong with you? Shame on you. So there's that. Now I will be going to run through the shower and finish my day in my video, but I did see that. And there's no reason that any of that should have... I had to flip my internet on. It was off. Okay, this access point that I have. Because I don't even actually have internet right now. I had to turn on a hotspot just so I could use that for a second to get those, to Google the images I wanted, to pull them off so I could put them in my dance video and then figure out the rest of it later. So I planned on doing some other stuff first. But the only reason that I did all of that, turned on the hotspot right now, because the internet was set up in the structure that was torn down, so it's not, it disappeared. But anyway, I've managed to survive, all right? However, the only reason that I flipped that on for a second to Google what I needed to pull on those images was because I heard them. I heard the angels tell me specifically what quotes to look up to find them while I was on the yoga mat in a meditative state, stretching from the injuries that these people have caused, healing, recovering, rebuilding. And that was the very first one, the very first one. Now, this is one of those situations where, again, I'm very careful about speaking people's names because I do not want them to have clout. Look at what they're doing. But this is bad enough where this person has committed enough crimes, yes, with the domestic violence stuff alone, but then with the plagiarism and perjury involvements, that this is the type of situation where they don't want their name dropped. I've spoken so much that they don't want their name involved in this. Well, too bad, Angela Butler. You're no angel. She's like a Gemini or a Taurus. She's right in the middle somewhere there. So Taurus and Gemini butt heads, typically speaking, especially if there's nothing else in their chart. I do know one Taurus Gemini that I like, but this person has a pretty balanced scale and they understand the other side, the Gemini side. So there's a bridge point there. Typically speaking, Gemini and Taurus, they clash because they're... one of them is fixed and one of them is not. One of them is controlling and one of them likes to be able to fly freely without inhibition. However, I find that when you've got toxic karmics that are Gemini, they feel like we're both Gemini, so they can try to compete. It's very strange, but they don't seem to understand that, first of all, I outrank them, and second of all, they're just like with the MBTI, Carl Jungian-based Myers-Briggs personality typing. There are different levels to this. Actually, they talked about this morning. I've joked about this before. You know, I grew up with some narcissism as a baseline, and then I ended up with a narcissist in college, and then I escaped the narcissist, but whoops, ended up with a sociopath instead. The universe said, okay, you've mastered the narcissists, level up, bitch! And there are levels to this, all right? But subsequently, what I mean, really, is there are levels to this, is based on comprehension spiritually, people who are, let's say, awake versus not awake, and then somewhere in between, and then you've got people who are mature versus not mature, and then maybe somewhere in between. And just because we're both Gemini, I don't claim Donald Trump, and he's a Gemini too. So no, you can't sit with me, mean girls, because that's what it was, a cult full of little cliquey mean girls, immature, peaked in high school. Can't stand alone. Pathetic. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's see what God has to say. Not this one. Let's do this one. We'll get some behavioral science. I'm going to skip the evil eye for now. Let's do some behavioral science and psychology cards, because this wingnut is lost her marbles, clearly. Still sitting over there trying to claim queenship and sovereignty or superiority while plagiarizing me on the daily. Fortune. Yeah, that's what she wanted. So here's the gag. Let's see what my energy is. Thank you also. And then Butler. Miss Strange for change over there. Ooh, girl. Called it right out, didn't we? Black magic. There you go. And human distortions. You know why? Because she's karmic. Told you. What's the other card here? Yeah, so she thinks that if she copies me, she can gain some kind of success, but that's why she has no success, because she should stop plagiarizing and stealing. You see, she's claiming to have a pranic healing ability. Pranic healing is divine healing energy. If she was so divine and tapped into the divine, she wouldn't need to copy and plagiarize from me. If she was really a past life regressionist, like she claims, she would remember that she tried to fuck me up the exact same way with occult behavior in a different life. I can tell you exactly what year. And she would remember that it didn't work, and that doing it again was not only a bad idea, but her chance to clear the karma, where instead she made it worse. But you see, she's not a past life regressionist. She's not tapped into the Akashic records. She can't read these soul contracts, which is why she doesn't see these things. Otherwise, she wouldn't be doing that. It's point blank. Somebody who claims to be qualified in doing what she's claiming she's qualified in doing, these are baseline levels of comprehension, okay? This is like spiritual pre-K. But she's claiming to be a master while copying, plagiarizing from the master. I hear God's favorite. Yes, Seraphim. Hello, Zedkiel at your service. Cut it out. Because for years she's been openly practicing this witchcraft shit, and now as a result of that blowing up in her face, just the last couple of months, I was informed that she's been trying to claim God now. But it's because she's copying me, and she did. God says, yeah, I'm not with her. I don't claim that. I know. Just like I don't claim Trump. Jim and I, we good ones, don't claim that one. 22. Okay, so we've got poverty, pride, ambition, bad mood, elocution problems. So trouble communicating, which is why she finds plagiarizing my words mostly beneficial for him. As the cat's dropping a deuce in the background, that's what he thinks of you, ma'am. Are you shit-stained person? Wanting to rise above others, feelings of inferiority or superiority. Oh, if you're so old and so wise and you deserve such respect, shouldn't you be setting a better example? It's not a better example to be committing crimes and ganging up on people with a cult or without a cult or stealing, but that's what you've done. So you're not an elder, you're a friggin' bum who should be old enough to know better, but is too stupid, selfish, and thick-skulled to care. I feel bad for your husband. You should have divorced her while you had the chance, Goddo. And I warned him a few years ago. She lured him right back in. I saw it with some extra magic and stuff. He was questioning being with her because of, well, me calling her out for all of this. But he thought, well, maybe I'll just work it out and it will be beneficial. And that was a bad idea, because the warning was if he stayed and he chose to do that with her, that was his prerogative, but he was going to catch hell and karma with her, because at that point, he saw better, he knew better, but he didn't do better, and there's karma for that. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, he's still digging at it. And I just cleaned that box. It's a brand new fresh litter, but that's what he thinks of you. Feelings of inferiority or superiority. See, squandering worldly pleasures, excessive person. So this is somebody, poor use of resources, who wants to boast that they're so successful, but you see, that's why they feel compelled to steal from others, even ideas. This is somebody who tries to step on my toes and undercut me by claiming that they're superior, but they don't want people to know that everything they're posting, they're copying from what I'm speaking on YouTube here. This is somebody who's local, within a half an hour to an hour drive radius, give or take. Poor use of resources, illnesses. Yep. Boasting, display of material wealth, criticism, controversy, inhibition, mediocrity. So she's mediocre, which is why she steals from me, because I'm not, and puts others down. And so while I was on my way getting ready to, let's do that now, actually, now that I've got, hold on, this empty cup, hold on. I had a specific cup I wanted to use for this, but it was full of electrolyte water, and I didn't want to put this into that because it was flavored. Here we go. Hold on. Let's get this protein mix in. Probably reheat this water a little. Grab the almond milk. So on my way to finish this protein, I'm mixing this protein drink before I run through the shower. I was getting the kitchen stuff ready, and I suddenly heard nasty, the word nasty, like these karmics are, I hear Divine Masculine, he says, and I want you to get nasty. He says, these karmics don't, she says, spank me, it's the only way I'll learn. He says, I'll get better things for you to focus on, baby. Yes, please. Yes, sir. Thank you. I think I've had enough now. And so that's what these karmics were saying, this karmic energy. It was a karmic female energy. And also there was a karmic male involved with it, either who gangs up with them or who's just very bitch made in his energy. But they were trying to say that the divine feminine is nasty, either just like a gross or dirty person, which I've also been picking up. Actually, the divine masculine legitimately thinks quite the opposite. She's very clean and functional. And also that they were trying to say something about maybe her sexuality, or I mean, I was in, what was it, a crop top sports bra thing and pajamas. They had something to say about that, for example. Nasty! No, these are people who are promiscuous and or very toxic and vile and volatile. These are also people who've been trying to say that I'll use myself as an example, like I'm crazy, I must be unhinged, because when I'm calling people out for very undignified things that they've been doing with a state of righteous indignation, meaning justified upset over a unjust situation, then I'm crazy. I sound angry, so I must be so unhinged. But you see, that's a narcissist trying to pretend to stay calm, cool, and collected, because that's the way that they have control over the situation, but they're not. They're abusive and angry inside, which is why they did nasty things that have caused upsets in light workers who have no problem vocalizing it. You know why? Grief has a number of emotions, typically 5 main ones on the grief wheel. Anger is one of those. These people cause grievances. They've hurt children. They've caused deaths and destruction, or they've caused illnesses in people. They've caused separations in people. They've caused situations where, here's one for you. While my daughter was being held hostage, my grandmother died, and my grandmother, before she even knew she was sick, said, before I die, I just want to see my great-granddaughter again. And unfortunately, she died while my daughter was still being held hostage. So she did not, the wind just started to whip because she's angry. I know, she says, you better leave my graveyard dirt alone. Yeah, she knows you're being haunted, dude. You better cut that shit out. She will cut you. Virgo, we have no patience for stupidity and bullshit. Gemini will go from 0 to 100 when you start causing unnecessary bullshit. You hit both sides of that trigger, sweetheart. And I'm not America's sweetheart, but you love me anyway. Motherfucker. So anyway, they're obsessed. Puts others down. And you're nasty. That's how they feel about themselves. Divine Masculine's like, yeah, I want you to get nasty. Take it, babe. Right? They called me the black sheep, so I wore black and put a black hat on my head. Own it, bitch. I heard that. You called me a bitch, so I became one. Well, 30, 22. But it doesn't work like that. Because these people also thought that if they said, oh, this person's just a slut, they're promiscuous, bitch, I've been fucking celibate for 10 years. You raggedy ass hoes. Do you know how many people have tried to pull me into this bullshit or that bullshit? I've had people trying to pull me into fucking sex parties or what was that? Like their polygamy bullshit. I am not interested. Say less. I'm highly desired. I'm just very difficult to acquire. There's a difference. You know why? Because I cannot be bought and I'm not an object. So if you can't match me mentally or keep up with me, and you cannot reach me or resonate with me emotionally and spiritually, I'm not interested physically. You can go fuck yourself. And that says a lot, because let me tell you what, I've got quite a high sex drive. I just have Shaolin monk levels of self-control. So you barked up the wrong tree with this one. You have no grace or self-control. This is why you perceive that in others. You know why? Because you couldn't possibly fathom the perspective that I come from. It's too high up. You can only see from your low frequency vantage point. And I get that. I see where you're coming from, but you can't see where I'm coming from. So you misjudge. That's your projection, not mine. Alrighty. Puts others down. They don't like it when I serve it back to them, though. You're mean. No, bitch, I'm a Heyoka empath. I'm just giving you back to you. But you can't handle it. You don't like what you give out. You just never expected to have it handed back to you. You never expected to have your ass handed back to you, let alone on a silver platter. Why? Because you're so used to having fucking silver spoons in your mouths. Working as a group to bully people or having people baby and enable or hand you out. Bullshit. You see, and that's what they think about us, but they don't understand what it takes to come out of the mud. They're too busy being corrupt like that to know. Or they felt like they couldn't do it, so that's why they succumb to such low-class, toxic tactics to try to get their way. Trashy and classless is what I would say. And you know what? Like I said, they could try to copy the recipe all they want. I could give them the recipe, but it would never taste the same. You see, we're not made of the same ingredients, first of all. Also, like I've said many times before, give me a microphone and I'll say it again. Quality over quantity. These people are garbage, inside and out. I mean, you can make a good meal with less ingredients, but those ingredients have to be even halfway decent for it to be something. People tried to steal from people to claim that they had more than I do or other people do. But you know what? I think it says a lot more about myself and people who have the capacity to move through situations like this, is that we're able to make a lot more with a lot less. This is why they steal from us. They don't have any creativity of their own. They feel like we'll just get more divine inspirations, so it doesn't matter if they steal from us. Well, God does care, because these people are claiming divinity while stealing. But God's not giving them those things, and what they're doing is trying to snatch things from us, even conceptually, to get blessings for themselves. If God wanted them to have those blessings, God would give them those creativities and those things themselves, but they're not in God energy. They're being demonic. 34:22. So there's karma for that. That's so embarrassing for her. I mean, I got screenshots. You can delete the post all you want, but I've got screenshots, and now so will my lawyers. I can't believe she's still doing that. That was the first thing to pop up on Google. And that's why. The God is upset. Who do you think sent Archangel Michael? That's how I figured that out. But that's how that's been happening for years. That's how I figured this out from the beginning. That's why they've been trying to call me crazy to cover it up. But you see, she's still doing it. December 27th to December 31st. Oh, so pretty quickly this will be stopping. This is when they catch their karma, or these are birthdays or death days or anniversary of victims involved or criminals involved. This is when they catch their karma or when they committed these crimes, if not this year, then any other. April 14th, June 28th, September 11th, November 23rd, February 1st. 8 a.m. to 8:19 a.m. Oh, yeah. Wasn't it like February 2nd that I posted that art piece of art that I made for my dead husband that she plagiarized? And she posted it on the 3rd, or I posted mine on the 3rd, and she posted hers on the 4th. Yeah, it was February. And I know that because that's his birth month. He was born on Valentine's Day. That's why I posted it. It was a fish because he's an Aquarius, sign of the water bearer, which usually you often see the star card, the Aquarius. There's a woman, usually a naked woman, symbolizing purity and openness and freedom, right? Very Gemini energy also, but it's Aquarius. And the water bearer is pouring this vase of water back into the river. Usually there's a fish jumping into the river from the basin, or just in the river in general, there's a fish usually in it. Also because the fish represented the era of Age of Pisces, which was the Jesus era. We're currently in Aquarius. We have been. 36, 33. So the black magic, satanic past, renouncing God, atheism. That's so funny because, like I said, just a few months ago, she was falsely claiming. And that's why God says it's blasphemy. Yeah, I heard. Yep. Possession, bewitchment, misfortune, despair, material interests, self-centeredness, agitated, incoherent, and impatient. Now I'm self-admittedly pissed. I started to shake when I saw that. Still stealing from me. This is somebody who's been directly involved with people ganging up on me, with people who've been holding my child hostage and lying about me to get away with it so that they can keep harvesting from her, so that they can keep doing voodoo on her, so that they can keep sexually assaulting her and getting away with it. God motherfucking damn it! 37:22. So I might sound pissed, but it's very justified because I don't like kitty touchers. You're going down with them, Angie. Shut your mouth and stay seated. And stop copying my content. Stay the fuck off of my social media and away from me, you psycho nut job. Insane. I just got a flash of an old post that she made at one point. She made 2 of them, saying that, 3 actually, that they're showing me. I mean, she was open with her energy vampirism. One where she said, am I 36 or an 800-year-old swamp witch who sucks the life out of men? La la la. Well, that's what she's been doing. Latched onto his little church and turned it into a cult. Yeah. First of all. Then there was another one where it was talking about and was this one that she posted, or did I post this about this? There was something about sucking the energy, or being an energy vampire, just wanting to suck the loosh out of people or the good energy out of people. And that's what that one was. There was another one too. What was the third one you brought up? Oh, thank you. Heard. Yeah, exactly. She said something about she's trying to compare herself to a queen. What it is that she's trying to compete with me. Because none of these people that well, not only did I not notice them before they started doing this to me, but it seemed like they started doing crown stuff or posting crown stuff. Like that was a newer addition to their copycat thing, but only because so was I. I was not their first target. I was one of the later ones. 39:22. I will be the last. And they're going to pay for harming my child. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. 40:29. I hear they already are. Well, they're just getting started, aren't they? Because karma's kicking their ass, but so is the law. And frankly, I'm sure some inmates in prison have a few things to say to them at minimum as well. And I'm being mild when I say that, because they don't like chomos and kitty touchers and women beaters and people who associate with them in there. Do I wish them harm? No. Do I anticipate that they're going to have a pretty rough ride? Absolutely. Would JD Delay agree with me? Probably. I bet Chris Hansen might have something to say about it. I got some predators for you guys. Anyway. So the other one that they're showing me was, she mentioned something as a post saying she would knock people's crown chakras off, indicating what we know, which is direct witchcraft-based crown chakra attacks. So I come here to do crown chakra Reiki and a number of other things to combat that. Regularly. You've seen it for weeks, especially with the full moon. I intended to take some time away from here, but they kept coming with the attacks, and I didn't want to leave people alone and undefended. I know how to handle that shit, and I know if I feel that, it's probably worse for other people who are either not as tapped in, and do not have the capacity to transmute the energy the way that I do. And that's what I say. Like, I joked about, you know, not actually throwing lemons at your enemies, but we transmute that stuff instead. She even wrote a little subtext in that stolen post, or in those stolen quotes on the post she made on November 1st about that. All the little mishmashed quotes, from throwing stones to transmuting it, don't throw stone, don't wait. It's just a copycat. Trying to deliberately copy me, or trying to copy everything I say while deliberately opposing me at the same time, trying to basically trash talk me in her post, but with stolen quotes of mine. How psychotic are you, dude? Just insane. Mentally ill. Material interest, self-centeredness, agitated, incoherent, impatient. I started shaking in a trigger when I saw that, because of all of the things that it's attached to and what it's about. It's not about the petty little tit for tat that she thinks she's got going. It's about my fucking child. 4222. So there's that. Sorry for people who had headphones in. I saw that, and I'm so sorry. Somebody just got a little bit loud in their ears, and I deeply apologize. It was a masculine. Sorry. Whew. Pedophilia gets me heated. But you know what? Archangel Michael legitimately has an aura of fire. He is hot. When he comes around, I get a little warm. Misfortune. She also claims to communicate with angels. No. I'd say try again, but I would suggest not. Misfortune, despair, material interests, self-centeredness, going against destiny and universal law. Exactly. Trying to copy me and step on my toes does not get you divine favor. You know, it's not your blueprint, it's mine. If you were actually an Akashic record reader like you claimed, Angie, you'd know that, because you could read that. You could see that in your own, and also have your own, so you wouldn't want to chase other people's. But since you're not, you do, because, well, you're a liar, you scumbag. Okay, so July 23rd to July 27th, April 14th. Oh wait, did we do that one already? No. June 28th, September 11th, November 23rd, February 1st. Oh yeah, we did. 8 a.m. to 8:19 a.m. So you've got December 27th again. Just to recap, December 31st, May 16th, July 31st, October 13th, December 24th, March 4th, 6:20 p.m. to 6:39 p.m. See, I will go transmute this energy. I will go take a shower and I will come back. The thing about that is, before this happened, dude, I heard that bit. I was making this protein drink. I was getting ready to go run through the shower. And I heard these karmics trying to smear campaign the divine feminine. Nasty. She's nasty. And you know what? In the reading I did last night, actually, and really the last couple of days, messages about them talking crap about you online and like subtweeting and the stuff like that. Well, there's evidence of that now, again, recently, as of this month, as of within the last couple of weeks. But it did come out in the reading a few days ago, or yesterday too, I think, as well. So I was on my way into the shower, getting ready, getting this protein drink ready to go shower. And while I was doing that, I got a vision of a couple of decks to do a love reading for the twins, specifically on what God wants them to focus on in a plethora of ways for themselves and how to manifest, as well as what spiritual abilities and what have you they are either going to be developing and or that they should be working on focusing on through that process, or that are more prevalent and maybe will be more active at that point for them within this next week or so that you know how to flow with yourself and kind of the energies. So they already gave me the layout, they already told me what cards to use, I already have kind of a general idea. I was planning to run through the shower and then come do just a nice chill reading on that. But then, while my water was boiling, so I could make this protein drink, I quickly turned on the hotspot to go pull those quotes off of Google, and that's when that photo popped up of the local plagiarizer at that 4622. First thing on Google. Can't even make it up. And again, this is one of those situations where it's so bad, and these are such horrible crimes that they're facing massive penalty for, that they don't want their name mentioned in this one. You see, narcissists, they want attention, which is why they do shit like that, the whole copycat thing and plagiarism thing and tit for tat. That's the attention they want, right? But when it comes time to taking the heat for that, yeah, see, just a little bit more than they want attention, they fear getting in trouble. So they'd rather have their name not mentioned at all if it means that they're going to be in the hot seat. They want attention. They say they want me to mention their name, just not when situations like this come up. So that backfired, didn't it, bitch? Stay seated. Bet you hear me now, don't you? 4722. So let's see what my card is. Actually, I would like another one because this one came out. But I would like I don't think I really need it, but just for giggles. Is there anything else you want to say about me, God? I'm listening. You know, just be honest. Okay. Let's do one more. Thank you. Prosperity. Ah, see, that was the first thing with Butler's card was, what was it? Poverty. So this is why she's mad. This is why she thought stealing from me would be a good idea, apparently. Okay. Prosperity. For me, wealth, abundance, joy, enriching our consciousness, abundance of noble feelings, astute strategist, capable of overcoming inner and outer enemies. I'm not making it up, it's right here. Okay. Altruistic use of one's personal possessions, making everything fructify and helping others. Yeah, Divine Masculine says, that's why it's so bad that they did what they did to you and they stole from you at that. You make the world more fruitful and beneficial and beautiful for other people when you have more. These people take what other people have and then suck everything dry and then try to blame the people they stole from for it. Repeatedly. Wash and rinse cycles, yep. And then they wonder why nobody wants to deal with them. And they don't have blessings from the divine and they're stuck even more. Natural authority trusted by superiors, opening of one's conscious to liberate it from obscure motives, vicious and pernicious habits. Like I said, God, if tell me what's up. If I need to course correct anything, let me know. And I've been saying that for days, these wicked, vicious, and pernicious karmics. Peace, completeness, preparing future employers, giving unconditionally. Divine arms, discernment, symbol of the sword. Yeah, that's when you hear me get hot, heated like that, very sharp, that's what that is. You pull the Queen of Swords out. She has love, just not for those people. And sometimes her being so strict like that and calling that out, that sometimes, if nothing else, that's tough love, and they just don't understand any of it. They think kindness is a weakness, but then they get boo-hoo when people get stern. Grow up. Luminous aura, symbol of the shield, exactly. Divine protection to make the right decision, freedom from those who oppress us, overcoming adversity, protecting and leading to victory. That's why I stand here. I'd rather be in the shower right now, frankly. Protecting and leading to victory, bravery and courage, developing great energy and leadership. But I know why they did this. No, I know why this came out when it did, because this needed to come out before I go cleanse my own energy and wash all of this off so that I can come into a love reading in a state of greater peace and balance, comparatively speaking, than having to deal with this. Healing, adjusting and regulating desires. There it is. Adjustment to divine standards. They're trying the power of 3 will set us free spells. No, it will not. Power of 3 is a Trinity spell. You're calling on a universal Trinity force, which is the divine, to protect you when it's the divine that you're in trouble with. That makes no sense. The divine is not going to save you from the karma that you're getting for hurting us when you're getting karma because the divine is upset with you hurting us. What is wrong with you? You're delusional. I think you're confused, but I'm not. I also think you're pretty stupid at that. 5422. Also, I now call all of my power back to me in all infinite directions of space and time. Thank you very much. I now also cut and sever all cords of connection between myself and anyone who does not belong in my energy field or have any attachment to me. Not in this life, not in any other life, not in any other dimension, any other realm, any other plane of existence. You're done. Checkmate. Also, I now call divine providence, justice, and judgment on all witchcraft and situations that these people have been using or trying to use to manipulate, control, shield people from the truth, cause illusions, distortions, etc. That's done. I'm also seeing that bit where they're trying to cut the threads of fate. That's twisted, okay? I just got the other half of that vision. So the whole red string of fate, like soulmates that are destined to be together, etc., kind of like the Hercules movie where the fates, there's a reference of them trying to cut the thread of fate or the thread of life to Hercules so he dies. But what I'm seeing is these karmics try to cut these threads of fate either to people's like careers and life purposes and destinies, especially if they're to help people or their loving relationships or whatever it is that God has called for them to do, God wants them to do. But then they're trying to tie them together with other strings that they've already tried to cut. So they're trying to basically cut and paste and clip, and they're playing mad scientists. They're trying to with people's lives and destinies, and that's a recipe for disaster. Because they're trying to play God, is what they're trying to do, and God's about to show them Well, that's why the devil got its ass beat, according to a lot of people who believe that the devil was once not only an angel, but God's favorite, brightest angel who got kicked out of heaven for trying to play God, being nasty to humans, being manipulative and sneaky, and not fulfilling its job and its role, and also trying to play God. As a baseline. Howdy. Yeah, well, here it is. I'm hearing that. Which one was this? See, this was the sin of Sodom. They were haughty and selfish, and they did detestable things before me, and they did not help the poor and needy, and therefore I did away with them, as you have seen. You want to sit there and preach God, ma'am? You're a stain on the Bible. And I can speak from all religions. And here's one for you. People who practice witchcraft and play with demons and what have you, people who believe in satanic practices, I know a number of them because I've heard from one of them at one point. Do I think that they should be following this, and do I think they're confused? Yes. Do I think they should be following this? No. Do I think that they're confused? Yes. But is this what one particular Satan worshiper that I heard from years ago said? Yes, let me tell you. He said that people who believe in Satan worshiping, or some people anyway, I would say, believe that one of the foundational rules is that you can't rape, right? Like, you cannot assault somebody. You cannot force yourself on someone. But you see what they've been doing to people's finances by trying to cut the threads of fate and play experiment and tie them together. The way that they've tried to control people's lives at all, let alone with fabrications, illusions, deceptions, theft, etc. Hostage situations even. And also sexual assault, or all of these things to conceal that. Well, they violated their own belief system at that point, didn't they? They didn't think about that, though. So like I said, even the devil fears and submits to me. The dark forces either respect or fear me, and the bumbling oafs that are too thick-headed and stupid, like, what was his name? Celtic evil eye demon. Well, they're weak. Big bumbling oafs. They're just stupid. No threat at all. And the ones that would have perceived themselves as some kind of threat, they are not. Certainly not to me. And let me tell you, they tried. But they know they tried the wrong one. Divine protection to make the right decision. Freedom from those who oppress us. There it is. Overcoming adversity. You remember, Zadkiel is the angel of kindness and mercy and compassion, but also of karma and justice. And they forgot that part. Gemini, Zadkiel, Gemini, lapis lazuli. Purple, color, purple. You know, I said, I think yesterday, the first crystal that I ever bought, like as an adult, was lapis lazuli, but in retrospect, it was not. It was the second one. It was amethyst, because I had an amethyst crystal that I wore all through my pregnancy. Now, I didn't realize what I was doing, but in retrospect, I was trying to protect us both from a narcissist, even subconsciously speaking. I wore it right over my heart in a little cage. Actually, I have it over here. Uh-oh. the cat knocked it off, I think. Hold on. Little brat. I think the cat knocked it somewhere, but it's here. I have it still. It's one of a few places. Anyway. Reharmonizing when we are feeling out of sync. Restoration of balance following a phase of discrepancies. Love of nature, country life, open spaces, agriculture, harvest, agricultural expertise, fertile nature, creative power. Discretion, sense of organization and family. That is why I take excessive offense to the manipulations and callous theft here, because it was all done at the expense of a child. And then she's over there trying to pretend to be a mother. No, ma'am, you're not. Because that's not what a mom does to another mom. 60, 22, you're a fraud and a phony. That's not what a woman does to another woman. You're a scumbag. I don't consider you a woman at all. Here's something to remember. Again, I could give you the recipe. It would never taste the same. We're not made of the same ingredients. You could try to copy me all you want, but the thing about that is you cannot buy class, common sense, self-respect, or dignity. And it might take me longer to get where I'm going by doing things the underground way, by not taking shortcuts and undercutting people or being grimy like you to get where I'm going, but it's much longer lasting. The victory is much sweeter, and you cannot buy or fake that. That's why you failed. You try to copy what you think works for me on the outside, but you lack that internal capacity. You do not have the spirit, and you do not have the divine support moving through you. I'm getting a vision of the scene from the movie Leap, where there are two girls. One of them is an orphan, very underweight, malnourished, thin, needing to re-strengthen her muscles to support her bones, which I can relate to. The other was the silver spoon, well off comparatively speaking, had access to everything that she needed and all the classes and the coursework and what have you, but she was a mean, spoiled brat. And she was miserable, and she bullied other people. And she thought because she came from or had more money that she was better than everyone else and also the other person, and that was false. And there was a teacher there. And she saw the talent and the potential in this girl because she saw the spark that she also carried in herself. She saw her healthy reflection in this young girl, and so she trained her. And she said, this other girl has, she's got proper nutrition and rest and training and everything else, but you have the one thing that she lacks, right? She might be able to make it look like she's got all the credentials on the outside, but you have the one thing that she will never have, and that is passion. And you see, that's what you hear in my voice when I sound mad. I'm fighting for a very just cause. I fight for the well-being of children who are being sexually assaulted and abused and then having it covered up so we can continue to do it and get away with it. That's called grooming. It's not a new tactic. So yeah, you might hear me be testy, especially when people are stealing in order to do that and then cover it up. Stealing from me while claiming that I'm unsuccessful, while doing things to try to block me from moving forward, or stealing my income even, to claim that I'm unsuccessful while they're stealing from me. Bitch, your logic isn't logicking, your math doesn't match. Your math doesn't math. Your lies don't match the truth because you're stealing from somebody you claim is unsuccessful. They don't rob empty houses. What do you mean? Oh, the house is empty. They're just not successful. The house might be empty because you stole everything. But why would you steal from somebody who's not successful? They wouldn't have anything for you to steal. You fucking idiot. Stupid. All that 40 plus years and you still don't have the common sense to figure that one out. Sounds like you struggle with first grade math. I can't relate. You and all your weird friends. Blue Falcons, the bunch of you. Not the good kind of weird, though. You can't sit with me in my weirdo brigade. Next. Anything else? Discretion, sense of organization and family, contemplation of divine structures, political science, harmonizing social life, peaceful cohabitation, divine order, ability to adapt to any situation, scientific and political attitudes in accordance with divine science. I will also be dropping the, I'm just getting a download. I will make clickable links to these screenshots of the Google post that popped up, so you can see exactly what happened and exactly who's stealing from me illegally. Now this one today was a smaller thing comparatively speaking, but it's the principle and it's the build point. It's what everything else they've done symbolizes. They're doing it again, almost seemingly as if to try to pour salt in the wound that they intentionally tried to create. But you see, it just showcases their jealousy, one, and their guilt also. Like, why would you post something like that while trying to deny that that's what you're doing when I have evidence to show that that's what has been done? That's so stupid. But you see, they got cocky doing and confident doing stuff like that because they got away with it for so many years. This has been going on for like 8 years, dude. And also, this domestic violence psycho, the ex-domestic violence psycho, I have screenshots of her talking shit about me online, also making up false allegations with them about me publicly online, on Facebook at that. When they should have no contact at all because she was being paid to protect me from them before she quit her day job to go bully me with them while trying to steal my career. Claim that I'm fake and that she did it first. No. I was already doing what I was doing when I reached out to or was sent rather to the Domestic Violence Center for help. That's how she discovered me. The fuck? I didn't know who she was. I'd already launched my business, damn it. 6722, crazy, just crazy. Actually, you know who sent me towards her? It was a DHS liaison named Leslie Linder. Terrible mistake. They're both witches, self-proclaimed. She's got a website about that too. So yes, there are actually witches in the Domestic Violence Center and also self-proclaimed. They've got books about it. And DHS, so you see why they didn't actually do anything or help. Yeah, this looks bad for us. Yeah, that's because it is. We all know that. That's why you tried to cover it up. That's what I've been saying for years. Almost a decade now. Shut your mouths. Yeah, Divine Masculine says, so that's why they tried to have you falsely arrested to shut you up. Yeah, they thought I wouldn't get out. So they thought that would be the end of that. And then, when that didn't work, they went to this crooked judge, Harrigan, and they tried to ask him to ban me from posting online, which is a violation of the freedom of speech and press. Those are basic American rights that were given when we founded this country. The fuck are you talking about? And if you've got to go in the back of your office and look up in your books or Google as to whether or not you should do that instead of knowing that one by heart, Harrigan, you should not be a judge at this point. But that's what he had to do. He straight up took a recession, meaning he took a break. I'm going to go back in my office and think about this for a few minutes and then I'll be back to make my ruling. He told me when he came back, this should be on the court transcript I have actually, he told me when he came back that he went to look up to see if he could keep me from whistleblowing on the internet. No, sir. 6922. And I think it's wild because my ancestors, I have a mixed bag of ancestors, quite frankly, from natives to Mayflower descendancies, but I also, and royal bloodline who's still ruling today and ties to French and Russia. I got it. But also a couple of founders of America, one of whom actually signed the was it the Constitution or the Declaration? Right now I forget off the top of my head. But anyway, the founding of America, right? In fact, when you hear people say, just put your John Hancock down on the dotted line over there, like write your signature on the dotted line. It was John Hancock who was that ancestor. So an actual founder, okay? Which means that the only reason that we have police stations and judges and any of that stuff set up is because of the fact that my ancestors founded this country. The fact that we have laws at all and, officers or courts to protect and uphold those laws because of the work of my ancestors. So you have people who have jobs only because of my ancestors that they're being paid to protect and uphold the laws for. But the same people who only have jobs because of my ancestors have been choosing to break the laws that they're being paid to protect against my family and I. Do you know that the kind of karma that comes with that is deadly? I would be careful where you step. Sounds like a landmine to me. Now I'm talking about spiritually, metaphorically speaking, but also legally. Run. Adaptability to any situation. Scientific and political attitudes in accordance with divine science. Political and social leader, administrator, decision maker, diplomat, ambassador, dispenser of justice. Allowing us to know how to behave in ambiguous situations. Seeking truth through reason. So I might sound upset over pedophilia and theft that has caused the near death and destruction of people. Yeah, absolutely. But it's justified. Kind of like how Martin Luther King Jr. was angry about racism, but was that unjustified? No, the fuck it was not. Let me answer that question for you before any racists decide to butt in. Shut your mouth. 7244. Thank you. It's not a request. You don't have a choice. Creator of positive atmosphere and the driving force behind teamwork. That's why I still stand here. This is typical narcissistic behavior. Yeah, it might be locals who've done this to me, but I know that there are other people on this channel. I know that there are other people who watch me, and I know that there are other people in this collective who have gone through the same things, or at least aspects of them. That's why I stand here. Also for those whose voices have been stolen and those who cannot speak for themselves or are too afraid to. I speak for the ones who didn't make it out alive. And I speak to prevent any further victims. I speak to help the ones who are going through it now. I don't give a fuck what you think, or if it helps one person or 16 million. As long as God's happy with me, and God is. Now, do I have healing to do? Absolutely. But how I'm doing the shadow work. I'm just not tolerating any bullshit, and that's also what this is. At least from these karmics, anyway. Friendship and affinity, the study and understanding of the law of resonance, helping penetrate the subconscious to reveal true motives. Physics and astronomy, astrology, yeah, I agree. Divine Masculine's like, okay, and how does it look for, this is somebody who tries to claim to be a healer and this and that, but they're sitting there not only picking on a person who was disabled, but who worked with people to disable her in the first place, and so that they could continue to try to drive her into the ground and steal from her. What kind of domestic violence advocate does that? What kind of so-called pranic healer or good person or medium or empath? What kind of what? Yeah, that's why they wanted me to be quiet, because their very blatant actions don't match up with the facade that they try to pretend that they are. The personality that they're trying to copy from me when I'm just being authentic. You know why it works for me? Because that's what God called me to do. I ran from the calling. I ran. It wasn't logical. God chased me. We're not the same. Helping penetrate the subconscious to reveal true motives, physics, astronomy, astrology, helping understand the analogies between the universe and the earth, revealing the secrets of the mineral, vegetable, and animal kingdoms, helping develop a conscience. I mentioned the crystals today too. Capacity to teach what has been learned, instructor, teacher, learning the unknown through the known. Those are my cards. Is there anything else you want to say about this? How's this going to play out for Butler? Oh, yikes. Suicide, unconscious death, despair, dead end, depression, blocked horizon, repudiating one's own existence, so they don't want to take accountability for all the bad stuff that they've done. Negative influence, bad health, handicap, collapse, ruin, loss of employment. Well, that's what she tried to do to me. Of one's spouse, of friends. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if divorce and isolation were on the helm, because that's what they wanted for other people. Seeking to convince. So again, she tried to convince people she wasn't copying me by copying me and trying to retaliate against me, even though that was just publicly proving my point again. Well, although I mind my business, I have her blocked on all my accounts, so I wouldn't have seen that unless Archangel Michael did what he did. I would not have ever gone to unblock her. In fact, I didn't unblock her. It popped up on Google. I didn't have to. Crazy. That was insane, dude. But it's not. It's how the angels work. They knew how to run the algorithm through too, just in time. The timing of that. So Divine Masculine's asking, when will you have that video done? Honestly, I really don't need to do much to it. I already have the audio laced in, the crisp audio, and it's pretty much done. I just have to, it was just those 2 slides, really, very quick. It's a very clean video. I don't need to do anything to it. I just wanted to make sure the audio was fresh. As high quality as I could get it at that point, but that's it. So, unless the angels tell me to stagger the post, then I'll have it out by today. Somebody's asking, why would they ask you to stagger the post? Well, for the same reason that they asked me to go get these particular posts today, I'd assume. One, because they're relevant to me, so I'm actually going to be using those quotes, although I will not be using ones from Google, I don't believe. I think I'll be probably just typing them in there myself at this point. However, if I hadn't listened, turned on the hotspot, typed in the keywords that I was hearing while on the yoga mat, following the vision I got on exactly what to use, because I wasn't sure what slides to use. I actually talked to God about it. I'm like, can you give me some help? I don't know where we're going with this today. Give me some direction, please. That's what came out. So, Socratic method of teaching. I listened to the call and it led me to where I needed to be. But the timing of it, if the timing had been different, or even the keywords had been a little bit different, but even the timing, if other people had posted things with that type of, caption or whatever, those may have easily come up first, and I probably wouldn't have scrolled down that far anyway. It was just timing. They wanted me to see that. God wanted me to see that, because that is a crime. There's no way for her to deny it. I've got a couple of lawsuits. One for the domestic violence breach, privacy, contractual breach situations, and then the other for the business plagiarism subsequently. That's 2 separate lawsuits, dude. And then I can add her into the personal injury if I wanted to. So that is 3. So criminal, financial, and personal injury charges. Assault. A variety of assault. Weaponized tactics. Doesn't surprise me that somebody who did that and is in trouble for that seems suicidal now, or will. Going against the natural order. So going against the divine. Forcing materialization and then trying to call on the divine for protection? No, dude. They weren't listening to the divine. The divine told them to stop. That's why, see, they're trying to run from their karma, but they don't realize that their karma is the divine trying to get them to listen when the divine is saying stop. Their karma is God saying, stop that. Look at what you're doing. But they don't want to hear it because it doesn't create the outcome that they want. So they create worse karma for themselves trying to be forceful. That's not how it works. Lacking openness. Like, you can manifest anything you want, yeah? But if it's not for you, it's not for you. People can try to forcefully get those things, but if it's not for you, and especially if you step on people to do that, there is karma that comes with it because it wasn't for you. They don't understand that part. You can ask for what you want, but the divine has to clear it. The universe has to give that clearance. It's like these people trying to cut and tie soul contracts and, break up this person and try to force these people together. I'm like, baby, you don't have the clearance. You're pulling strings like you do. Maybe you think you've got some kind of managerial position, but you are not the CEO. And that's who they're now facing consequences from. You're fired. And now some of them didn't even have freaking jobs. They were trespassing on the premises. And I'm getting another flash. These are the people, let's say that this is a place that they worked, so to speak, that has a key card code to get in. Oh, okay. Maybe this person did have some degree of spiritual gifts before, but they've abused them, so they were stripped of them, right? So maybe they did at one point have a potential to access some kind of unseen realm, or we'll just theoretically say Akashic record, right? Frequency or whatever. But you see, they abused it, so their key code access was revoked. You know what I'm getting a flash of? The movie, the series, The Magicians. I think they have something like that in there. It's like this white room or this white dimension or something. It's like a library or something. Just lots of walls and hallways, and there's a key code or a key card or something. Some kind of entrance activator. I don't know exactly or remember what it was, but something like that I'm seeing. Yeah, so you know how doctors, in some places, they have parts of the hospital that you can't get into without like a security badge or something like that. That's pretty much what it is. They've got to scan their key card or their security badge just to be able to get through the electronic coding system at the door. And so these are people who whether they had jobs or not, even if they did, they were fired. And so maybe they still kept their key card, they kept their security badge, thinking that they could still sneak in when nobody was looking, or they could still have rights to the building. But the CEO changed everybody's key card badge numbers, or changed everybody's passwords to their badges when that person was fired. So everyone else can still get in because their badges have been updated with the new password. But anybody with the old badges, or the badges that were not updated, as this one was not, the one who got fired, they can't get in. However, you know how in phones, especially iPhones, or I think Android did this, if you try to get into somebody's phone too many times, it first of all locks you out. And in some phones will take a picture of whoever's trying to break into it. I think Androids did this. Like if somebody tried to get into your phone 3 times and they failed, it would take a screenshot of their face so that you knew who was trying to get into your phone. When you actually typed in the password and went back into it yourself, it would show you who tried to break into your phone while it was down, or while you were sleeping or something. So it's like that. Every time they were trying to sneak in, they were actually sending some kind of silent alarm or red flag signal out. Or I'm seeing a museum, you know how they have those infrared, kind of like a spy movie, speaking of this hilarious look. The secret agent, that's hilarious. But in a museum or something where there are infrared, it's an infrared security system, so there are infrared tripwires basically, and you can't see them, but if somebody walks through them, it will trigger the alarm. Usually it's a silent alarm, so then the police will be silently notified to rush in, and it gives the police time, the silent alarm, right? It doesn't alert the criminal, so they still kick around thinking that they're safe, but all of a sudden the police surround the place because they don't realize they were busted. And that's kind of this energy that I'm getting. Okay, March 16th to March 20th, June 2nd, I may have done these already. August 16th, October 29th, January 8th, March 20th, 11:40 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. No, I feel that energy vampire. It's weird. It's like trying to breathe in oxygen. Oh, you know what? It's like the witch in Hocus Pocus, trying to like inhale air in, suck in oxygen, because it's like they're trying to drink the vitality of, no, you poisonous rat. I now call all of my power back to me in all directions of infinite space and time. Before I get done here, we will be doing some Reiki. We will also be putting up some energy shields, and you're going to rot. 8722. There's a karmic male who's laughing because he thinks it's hilarious, but yeah, I don't know why he's laughing. He doesn't have anything to laugh at. He's in trouble with them. He's just as much of a bitch as they are. He chose to join in with that shit. In fact, he's the one who recruited them all. Delusional. Just pop that delusional bubble for him, though. Not laughing anymore. Foolish. October 29th, January 8th, March 20th, 11:40 p.m., 11:59 p.m. Cunning, imposing ideas, obstinacy, stubbornness, moroseness, sadness, pessimism, crime, told you, anger, abuse of power, rigidity, inconsistency, lies, betrayal, harsh, vengeful, vindictive, bad intentions, manipulator. Told you. January 6th, I'll show you the cards, to January 10th, May 18th, August 2nd. How did you know that? Because I picked up the energy before the cards came out. October 15th, December 26th, March 6th, 7 p.m. to 7:19 p.m. Resistance to new currents. So they didn't want things to change, or they didn't want their perceived, I guess, power trip to be over. Attachments to old structures, to what is old. Subjugation to matter, so they only care about material things or they get stuck in it. Going around in circles, rehashing the same old thoughts. Relentless struggle to maintain the status quo, which is why they thought that they would bully me. You know what I keep getting flashes of this week? Honestly, I think it was a Divine Masculine watching it. I got a clip of one of the songs the other day from High School Musical, and then I sang a little sentence of it, and then suddenly yesterday I got a flash of a Divine Masculine, no shade, no judgment, watching the movie, and it may just have been to understand the context of it, or it may not have been the whole movie, but like I think they have the songs, individual video clips of each song from that movie on YouTube, so maybe it was something like that, but I saw that. Kind of very cute, actually. But anyway, in this movie, there's a song called Don't Mess with the Status Quo. Stick to the stuff you know. And it's about bullies trying to tell people just to tolerate how things are, not try to either change things or shake things up for the better, or basically just fit in. I hear fit in where you get in. So if people have outcasted you, then just deal with it. If you're a popular person, then, you know, be that. If you're like, fit in where you get in and stay in your own lane, kind of a thing. 1022. But these are people who, it's a bully energy. Like the cheerleaders should stick with the cheerleaders, and the jocks should stick with the jocks, and the cheerleaders, and they're to bully the band kid. Like, they think that that's just the status quo and that's how things should be. I'm like, I think the insides of your head are broken. And quite frankly, ultimately pretty fucked up. Frankly. Divine Masculine's laughing. Is it at them or because I'm funny? Both, he says. Well, there's that. Heads turn every time you laugh. Moroseness, sadness, pessimism, crime, anger, abusive power. You know what I'm picking up on also? Dirty cops wanting to shut me up. Because they've been working with these people to do that. If I've ever had any tie-ins with those types of bad people, it's because those ones were working with the ones who've been stealing from me here. So they all just stick together. But they're all going down together, and that's why dirty cops want me to be quiet, because they're facing not only job losses, but prison time now. I hear, what about our families? Yeah? Okay. Well, what about mine? Because you only put your careers on the line by fucking with my family, okay? And so that's what they're concerned about. How am I supposed to, pay for my family to exist? How am I supposed to keep working and, provide for my family if I lose my job because I abused my job to fuck with you? Yeah, well, you should have thought of that then, huh? 9222. Shut your mouths, pigs. And this is why I'm a rebel to the system, because your system sucked. Now I'm burning down all this chronic for all the days you tried to make me piss in cups. Because this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas. But we'll pull a few cards on that. These other karmics, they're not even worth pulling cards. Just the thief and the dirty cops today. Because I'd rather do a love reading, but I need to go shower and take care of a few things and switch the laundry first. So let's do that. Charlatan. So like a grifter. Somebody who pretends to be psychic when they're not. I can't relate. 9322. Perverted. Told you. Misleading spirit. Fierce and unshakable traditionalist. Emotional and material addictions. Now, by the traditionalist thing, this could be, I'm an elder, you should respect me, but you give me nothing to respect and you're a thief, so no, first of all. Or this could be somebody who is so dead set in their ways of, like, they're not spiritual, they're religious. Like, this is somebody who straight up was practicing witchcraft. Like old school occult text type of stuff.
Or maybe some kind of new age witchcraft, but either way. Traditionalist, not spiritual. Emotional and material addictions. There it is. Angie Butler, who talks about what she does not know, which is why she feels like she has to plagiarize from me. I'm not making it up. Look, it's right here. Human distortions. That's what she has. What does that mean? What is a human distortion? It means she's in karmic energy. It's very simple. But I'm not making it up. It's right there. Zoom you in a little bit. Yeah, see? I'm not making it up. It's right there. It's right there. Toxic. It's all right there. Okay. Now let me put this deck away. And let me grab this one. No, that's not the one I wanted, is it? No, that's a love deck, but we'll leave that out. I'll do that for the love reading later. This one. This is the one I wanted. Divine Masculine says, I'm proud of you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Haters are recruiting more narcissistic people against you to start coming up against you. Oh, we know. I just told you that. An ex is sending negative energy your way. Oh, I told you. Who do you think recruited Angie? And all the others. Is jealous of your current relationship, mad because the love spells aren't working. Also, I told you about that. Between that and the sex magic that some of these people were trying to do. Yeah, I know. An old friend or enemy is upset over some past shit that happened in the past. They want revenge. Oh, yeah, we know. Little bullshit tit for tat stuff. It's just immature. It's what makes them haters. But this is a deck about exposing those. They hired spies to spy on you. The spies sit in your parking lot and try to get a tap into your Wi-Fi or Bluetooth devices to get a drop on you, gain financial information, and steal your money. They leave parked vehicles with hacking devices close to them, close to where you live, because it can take hours to try to break into your Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connections. And if it's not that, it's people just trying to get in with, maybe it's like a neighbor or somebody. Spying. The fail just popped out though. So the hater put a death spell on you, but it's not going to work. And that's the one thing I didn't say. In this reading, I got another flash of that graveyard magic. So I'd say that old psycho over there has been trying to send, they hate to see you shine. Yeah, graveyard spells at me or something. Actually, I did say that because my grandmother came through and said, you leave my graveyard dirt alone. Yeah, so there it is. It did come out. Told you. And I said a few days ago, that's what that was probably for, a death spell or something, to attack the ancestors or to use them to attack others, or in some cases it's like death magic, ancestral, they're trying to attack the bloodline with a death spell. Like they can't get close enough to me to get anything from me, so the next best thing that they think that they can get, generally speaking, is, I guess, like graveyard dirt from my ancestors. Fucked up. Whatever it is that they're doing. Or maybe they need that for the necromancy. These people are just stupid. They think they need that for the necromancy, because really they shouldn't be doing that in the first place. Here's another one. Be careful. Partners sending negative energy, constantly getting readings on you, and the readers are giving inaccurate information and believing it. So you either have exes, or like karmic exes or fallen exes, I know I have, who are trying to do readings or trying to get readings, but they're not getting accurate information. And I've seen this. I've seen people be so afraid to go talk to their own person, they try to get a third party's advice, whether it be from their friends or their family or even spiritual advice, and then they destroy their connections by listening to somebody who's claiming to be a practitioner when they're not, because that person told them to stay away from their true love or go towards somebody who was not their true love. Do you know how many fake psychics there are? Much more than there are real ones. And I will tell you that as a real psychic, there are so many fakes. In fact, I've only actually met two other healers around here. 2 real ones. One of them is dead. Her name was Jill Rekla. She was a scientist, actually. She worked at the Jackson Laboratory. I love her. And the other... her name is Haley. Your spirit team is handling the situation. Someone is doing white magic to protect you. Yeah, see? Cameras and microphones are secretly in your house or somewhere you are residing. Like I said, possibly like even just spying through a neighbor or something. And that one next door has been spying through cameras that she put up. Like through my windows to the point where there's no privacy. There was no privacy because even though I have curtains up, she's up on such a high hill with those cameras strapped to the roof of her house, which is illegal, by the way. That you can see straight down into my windows, even with my curtains up. So, watching your every move and violating your privacy, getting a serious drop on you. We know. Check your dwelling for secret devices or move out. Hater wants to use you as a sacrifice for their own personal gain. So that's why they steal, like I said. It's not a problem they claim everything I do is a problem because they think that's the way to get people to hate on me. But then they copy everything I do, showing that it's not a problem for them when they do it. It's just a problem for them when I do it because they're jealous of me and wish they could wear my skin. Literally. 10044. Hater wants to use you as a sacrifice for their own personal gain, fame, record deal, insurance, inheritance, the list goes on. And they did. The grandmother who yelled at them, stop stealing my graveyard dirt, that's the one they stole the inheritance from my daughter and I in regards to. They stole money. And she keeps telling me something about like a policy. She had some kind of a policy or life insurance policy or something that I was supposed to get a cut of, and so is my daughter. And then also they stole like an exorbitant amount of really expensive, multiple thousands of dollars a piece, designer handbags, including a bunch of Louis Vuitton and gold and diamonds that my grandfather had even recently bought her. But even the sacrifice aspect, like these people were willing to lie about me to hold my child hostage so that they can steal from me, not caring that it was hurting her or affecting her school and her health and her childhood. And they were traumatizing her. Better yet, in fact, for these demon worshippers, right? Who believe in sacrificing children, but the injuries and the damage and the stolen childhood that they had no problem taking from and doing to my daughter, that is a sacrifice because they were hurting her for their own personal gain. That's sacrifice. Modern day sacrifice, but nonetheless. Stank bitch pulling on your energy. Oh, I know. Yeah, see? Stank bitch pulling on your energy. And those welts, told you I woke up with another bruise on the side of my butt cheek, my hip. They plan to poison or spell work you with food. They want to invite you to a party, offer to take you somewhere to eat, or even offer for you to come over for dinner. Beware of eating food from others. Yeah, there's a reason I don't take things from others. Like people have tried to give me things, they go in the trash. You know why? Because I've actually had people trying to poison me. And what did I tell you? Look what I just realized I was holding in my hand. I freaking told you. I know what I picked up. Crooked cops. I told you. You stopped that. I'm not going anywhere, but you're going down. I'm not going anywhere but up in life, and you're going down. You know my divine masculine watches me, right? Meaning he knows everything you've been doing. Whether I tell him directly or I speak it here. He's also very gifted spiritually because I feel him. Oh, and we are not together yet. But that doesn't matter. We already partnered up spiritually. Meaning that these karmics are sweating this much. And I'm not even a physical union yet. But that's why they're sweating. because they know that they haven't been able to block it. I'm getting stronger and healing, and they're spiraling out more, and I'm not even in physical union yet. And it says a lot more about them than it does me. In a negative way, and it shows all of their negative projections towards me were precisely that. Projections. Anything else? No, I think we're good on that. Let me turn this light back out. You know what? I also made a point to shift the scents that I've been drawn to lately are more like sandalwood. They were a little bit more light, fresh, sweet, in some cases floral. Sometimes they still are a bit, but this week a little bit more, sometimes a little sweet, but more like sandalwood and very cedar, very yummy, clean, earthy tones. Very masculine based. Just honoring that energy. No, this is just something I didn't really like the other scents. I love them, but I didn't want them. I wanted this. It just tells me something about the energy shifting though. The first couple of candles were more like my scent. The second one, the third one rather, that I've been using, it's more of this masculine's energy. It doesn't smell like a masculine's cologne, but it kind of does. You know those masculine colognes that have those woody, earthy scents? It's like that. Also, I find when I tend to be drawn more towards the Palo Santo, which I'm not always. Masculine energy. All right, I've got the sage going. I'll be back in a little while. I'm just going to go shower and take care of a couple of things, but then we'll do this reading. Yeah, these karmics are panicking. She sounds so calm. It's because I am. I don't understand. She was just so triggered. Yeah, because that tension, that passion, and advocating for the well-being of others and against criminal abuse, that's a very tense energy. But that's a response. That is a response to your bullshit. That is not who I am or where I live. You flip the bitch switch. Okay? Hellfire and holy water, you picked Grace, not Frankie. My attitude depends on you. My personality is who I am. There's a difference. 10722. That chill space that you keep trying to disturb the force of, because trying to, I guess, what, upset other people's emotions is the only way you feel like you're in control of anything, let alone your own, because you're not. That's a you problem. That sounds like a you problem. Karma's coming through problem. You got a response, an attitude, when you decided to flip the bitch switch. My personality is this chill space. That's what you keep trying to disturb. So you don't get the chill space, you get the bitch switch response, because that's what you flipped. Russ, everybody's got a switch, and y'all just flipped it. Exposed, Russ. Also sore losers, Russ. But yes, the second you try to stir the pot, I'm sure you do get that sharp attitudinal tone. I'm sure it's not very pleasant, but guess what? Neither is dealing with your dumbasses. Just saying. You can't handle the heat? Don't try to dish it out and stay the hell out of my kitchen. I warned you. $109.22. You did not get an invite to my tea corner. By the way, you've been uninvited, but all you say are all the same things I did. Copycat trying to cop my glamour. Watch your back when you can't watch mine. Copycat trying to cop my manner. Why so sad, bunny can't have mine? You're a copy. Excuse me. They don't like this truth. I hear you're a copy and I'm the OG. I keep it low key and to keep these blessings on me. She says something about murder and I'm your crime. Yeah, these people tried to kill me. Something about cocky. She says I'm not your toy. All right, let's do a bit of Reiki. Thank you. I'm getting a new modality right now. Hold on. Wow. Oh, 2. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. Well, a new modality and also a new shield as well. It's quite lovely. Aptly timed. Thank you. Okay. Just going to go through and make sure to clear any points that there were cords from others that tried to attach, so that those, like an umbilical cord from a baby, you know, it takes a little bit of time to heal, so that all of that is closed up. Somebody says, so it's not enough to cut it? Not always. No. Make sure to close the wound. Also keep anything from attaching or reattaching. I just got a flash of something about like tubes being tied. You know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes men will get vasectomies or women will get their tubes tied and their body will like heal itself back and reconnect the tubes because it doesn't want to be tied. Naturally, the body tries to fix itself because the whole purpose of human existence on a mammalian level is to procreate. It's like a survival thing, you know. Because if they don't, their genus line runs out, their genetics, their lineage. So the body's natural response is to want to repair that, typically. Doesn't always happen, but it can. Yeah, I feel it. There are some dirty cops who really, really want me locked up. Because they feel like that's the only way that they can dodge accountability. Like, if they can't try to make me look like some kind of bad guy, then they have to go to prison for actually being dirty cops. That's their thought process. And they're going to have to do that regardless, because I can already prove. And you know what? Every time that they've tried to throw me in jail, what they've actually done was qualify me for an attorney to properly help. Do you know why? Because in the state that I'm in, you can't qualify for attorney help unless it's a criminal case, okay? So if you need help with like family court or people messing with your money or anything like that, if you don't have money to spend exorbitant amounts, thousands of dollars on a lawyer, then, and you can't find anybody who has pro bono work to help, which is often hard, especially when you're dealing with conflicts of interest in a small town, then you can't get help. And the thing about that is, if people were able to get the civil court help, like family court or anything with like money or anything like that, if people were able to get the help that they needed for civil proceedings, they could often keep them from turning into criminal things down the line. But every time they think that they're going to hurt me, I mean, it's not ideal. It wasn't ideal. And they did hurt me, which is also why I have personal injury lawsuits lined up. But they actually qualified me finally for an attorney who was able to clear those charges. And now I have evidence as a result of both of those things, both of those times that they tried to do that, that was illegal and that they're criminal. So again, just like Butler, trying to commit the same crime to cover up the previous two crimes is not going to prove to people that you're not committing the crimes against me that I just told people that you've been committing. You're trying to commit the same crime to prove to people that you're not committing that crime, while people are watching you recommit that crime again as you're saying that you never committed it in the first place. It just doesn't make sense. Your math doesn't math. And I don't think you're thinking about that clearly, because you're so tunnel visioned on targeting the victim that you don't see that you're being closed in on by your superiors and people around you, karmics. I know that there are hungry, vicious wolves trying to eat me, but you do not see the good guys trying to come for you for coming for me. Because you're so focused on me. You missed that memo. I did not. Okay, so just one more thing. I'm getting a new one. Let's do some dirty cop Reiki. This will clear that right out. Also, justice Reiki and exposure Reiki. Oh, so everything they wanted, I'm getting modalities to clear that out and expose them further. Everything they wanted to hide is being exposed. Everything they wanted to be forced into position is being taken out. That damn wall you hit, right, lean against it and let yourself rest. Exactly. Today may be one of those I need duct tape and a shovel kind of days, but tomorrow will kick ass. Well, we're here, aren't we? I think that's accurate. And you know what? I had half a mind half an hour ago to pull this out and be like, here, I've got something for you. It's for your mouth. But I didn't. I wasn't going to pull the drawer open and pull the tape out. And then, no. But you know what? That card just came out, so totally worth it. I should have done it earlier. You're a straight up gift to humanity. Oh, I know. And that's why they are upset with me. Because I outshine them. I show people that they're assholes and they don't like that very much. Because until a real one came along, they were pretending to be that. I didn't understand at first why these people were so mean, but they're shadow people. So they felt like when I stood next to them, just glowing and basking in my own light, that I outshined them. Because I do, because they're dark and evil. But this is why. This is why. Do you know what happens to a shadow? Do you? Here, I'll go this way. Tell me about the shadow of the lighter on the wall. Okay, it moves when the lighter moves, right? Well, tell me about the shadow of the lighter when the fire's on. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, it dies in the light, right? And so that's why they felt like I outshined them, because I do. But that's their fault, not mine. And that sounds like a you problem. Karma's coming through problem. Fear is an asshole. You can absolutely fucking do this. Sometimes it's okay to let the bridges you burn light your way. Show up and fuck shit up. Oh, don't worry, I am. If I wasn't standing here with my tits out, I'd be on screen, but I'm about to go get in the shower instead. Divine Masculine thinks I'm funny. I'm being dead serious. He says, I know, it's why it's funny. I heard that. I wish I was there. Me too. Oh, karmic freaky. They really have paired up spiritually. Divine Masculine's like, you're cute. Come here, please. You're a freaking badass legend. Make today your bitch. Oh, don't worry. I will, and I'm taking Butler too. Right to court and town. Right to school. I'ma have to take your ass to church. Why'd you have to fuck up my night? I turned into a rude dude. He's saying I was in a good mood before you walked in here and killed the mood, basically. You know, why'd you have to turn me into a rude dude? You wanted to pick a fight, now I'm gonna have to knock out your lights. I'm gonna have to take you straight to church. Stress is caused by giving a fuck about the wrong damn things. You don't have to be perfect to be fucking awesome. No. And see, these people fake. They fake that. They were fake people. They claim that they're superior, but they're doing things that are equivocally why they're not even qualified enough to be my doormat. I wouldn't track that nasty shit inside my clean house. But you want to call me nasty, you little gremlins? Go take a bath and mind your own business. Release the shit you can't control. No one can steal your thunder when you're the fucking storm. Oh, darling, I know. And what did I say about that dream prophecy this morning? Zadkiel, the storm angel. Ah, see, and I'm just being authentic. The most authentic growth happens as a result of the most uncomfortable shit. Yeah, they tried to throw dirt on me. Guess what? I used that shit as fertilizer. Then they got mad when I grew gardens and used their hate like war paint. Well, guess what? The storm angel says, fuck yourself and cut that out. Okay? I'ma have to take you straight to church. Why'd you want to start a fight? I'm gonna have to knock out your lights. I'm gonna have to knock out your lights. Yeah, stop copying me. You wouldn't have to do that if you were the gift, but you're not. That's why you tried to plagiarize mine, wench. Let's do, since they wanted to play with that crown chakra magic too, some diamond Reiki. I also got another modality, clean house Reiki, and then brick house Reiki. It's kind of a Reiki modality, but it's more like another shield. Okay, self-explanatory. To clean house, clean it all out, clear it all out like that. And then also, I'm gonna have to take you straight to church. 12322, the brick wall Reiki. I got a flash of the three little pigs actually, but how the third house, the first one made of hay, was blown over by the big bad wolf. The second one made of sticks was blown over by the big bad wolf, but the brick house, she's a brick house. She's feisty, mighty, letting it all hang out. Free the titties. that she really is a free spirit. You know, this racist white karmic male used to say, oh, you're hippy dippy hoopla bullshit. But I'm Native American, bitch. We are the original hippies. I don't give a fuck of what you say. Next. I'm also a Trail of Tears descendant. Okay, Trail of Tears being quite a self-explanatory statement within its own right. But you see, I've been abused since the day I was born. The doctor who delivered me nearly killed my mother and I. He was effectively removed. They tried to get rid of him before I was born. They couldn't until I was born because I'm the powerhouse they needed. Then I was exposed to narcissistic abuse and taken away from my mom unjustly based on lies from criminals through the same courthouse that's tried to pull this shit on my child and I, repeating those generational curses. I have been sexually assaulted. My best friend and my husband, who was my husband, died in 2022. So I'm a widow and my only child is currently being held hostage. Bitch, you cannot hurt my feelings. Certainly not the way you wanted to, and most definitely not the way you thought you could. I would call that a double checkmate. But you can't handle the pain that I've been through or that you tried to put me through on top of that. And that karma might just kill you. So I'd watch out if I were you. Because that's not between you and I, that is between you and God. And God does not love your ugly. And you know what? In fact, when Butler was talking shit about me on Facebook, while they were trying to gossip and start rumors and falsely accuse and what have you, Butler commented, oh, that ugly, ugly karma, as if to say that since I have the audacity to protest against their crime and speak up about their lies, that I'm going to get ugly karma because they clearly think that they're entitled to abuse my child and I, but they don't think it's a problem that they're being called out for it. Or excuse me, they don't think it's a problem for them to abuse us, but they think it's a problem for me to call them out. You're going to get karma for calling us out for the evil, illegal things we did to you, said Angie Butler. No, fuck you, you psycho. You can delete the posts, but I still have the screenshots and so do my attorneys. Oh, and she said that to one of the people who she was being paid to protect me from and advocate against. She said that on the Facebook account of one of the people that her day job at the domestic violence center had hired her to advocate and protect me from. So she's been publicly seen saying I'm going to get ugly karma for not tolerating abuse on the Facebook of one of the abusers she had a day job at protecting me from. She's going to prison. Because she worked with people to slander me and try to financially extort me and then plagiarize my business. Using my child and the damage and chaos and slander and destruction they were causing through that situation to do it. And then saying, well, I see she doesn't have her child. She's an evil person, must deserve it. No, bitch. You may not set people up and then say that it's their karma to deal with the manipulation tactics that you placed upon them. You will get karma for that and we will rebalance the scales and heal you. Fucking nut job. That's passion, bitch. And you know what? Here's another thing about me. Because I don't take kindly to pedophiles or the supporters of them. Frankly, neither do inmates in prison. The thing about me that most people very deeply misunderstand is that anger, for me, is a representation of how hurt I've been. And I do not apologize for that, especially when I'm angry about child abuse and pedophilia. Passion! There's a difference. It's very rational, though, isn't it? See, they try to get people to just dismiss the rationality of the truth by saying, oh, she sounds angry when she says it, must not be credible, except for when you check the facts, though. And then any rational person also gets angry once they realize I'm right. Because no good person, no normal, rational, functional person likes abuse, let alone child abuse and pedophilia, or people who lie about it to cover it up and get away with their crimes. So especially against children, but also against women and children. And you know what? Archangel Michael is a justice angel. He's on the Justice League with Zadkiel and Uriel. Archangel Michael is a courtroom angel. He's also especially fond of women and children. Got a special affinity for women and children, especially those who've been abused and especially those with ties to the justice system. So you can fuck yourself because I've got an angelic brother and you're done. Brethren. Like I said, I work with Archangel Michael on the daily. Who do you think told me about your bullshit? I've got screenshots of that. Which, like I said, I will make clickable links to and put them in the description box once this video is done. Let's do these shields. Divine Masculine is saying that this was a very terrible idea of theirs. They genuinely thought that they would get away with this. Truly. Like, why? Why would you steal her words again? And what, like try to taunt her and then post the things that she's saying while you're claiming that you don't do that? And like, it's not like you're proving anybody. What? You're just proving her right. Why would you? Yeah. See, he's trying to wrap his rational head around how stupid they were or why they would do this. Baby, you can't. They're dumb and they're criminal. They're impulsive. They were cocky because they thought they'd get away with it. In fact, let me tell you something about this type of behavior that the person, the karmic male who recruited all these people said to me years ago before he met, if not all of them, then the majority of them. In fact, when, I'm not even going to mention his name, but when one of the so-called friends of this criminal got arrested for heroin dealing, because this was his dealer at one point, somebody's asking why. Well, because in this case, I've already addressed that situation and that person before, and that part of the story, that person in particular is not so relevant to this case, this particular situation right now. And I'm not going to take away from the criminals who are issues right now here in this particular reading by mentioning some of the other ones who've already been being handed their karma pretty consistently. So we'll move along from that for now. I've got bigger fish to fry. I'm not saying I won't catch them down the line, but they're small fry comparatively speaking. All right, so this criminal got arrested. And the person who's been targeting me, this was about 10 plus years ago, looked at me and said, yeah, you know, these criminals, they get away with it for a while. And then they get cocky. They think they're Superman. They think that they're invincible and untouchable. Now, this is what the criminal who's been coming after me for the last 10 years said about 10 years ago about another criminal. But he should have taken his own advice. It was good advice. He was just being hypocritical and he didn't take his own. Because narcissists don't. They can nitpick other people apart, but they don't actually apply it. So he said they think they're Superman, they get away with it after a while, etc., etc. And then they let their guard down and they get cocky. Just like you've seen, just like that post that popped up on Google. That was evidence of that cockiness. Then they get cocky and they let their guard down and they do shit like that because they think that they're untouchable because they've gotten away with it for so long, and that's when they get caught. Archangel Michael really did tell you. Yes, I will post the screenshots. You can see I put 4 keywords in there. castle, stones, throw, queen. And I was hoping it would just pull up a bunch of quotes like that. But to my surprise, it didn't. It pulled up a bunch of pictures of actual castles in, I'd assume, England or somewhere, some medieval castle places. And then just the one post of the local who's been stealing from me. And that was the very first one on Google search. That should not have popped up like that. But it does, because she's been plagiarizing my words directly and she keeps stalking my feed. So it put it right there because it showed me that she's real interested in me, even though I have her blocked on all social media and have for years, have for quite some time. Quite some time. Very, very infrequently over the years, I've been either sent something because somebody notices she's doing something like that, or I'll get a call like the Archangel Michael thing this morning to do something and stumble across some other bullshit. But that's how I've discovered that. She's over here stalking me and stealing from me, and I only figured it out by, not coincidence, it was definitely angelically guided, but nonetheless. Oh, and you know what's so hilarious? The same person who said that about the criminals and recruited all these people years ago. This is somebody who's tried to work with these people to say I'm crazy for being a medium. But years ago, this person was running away from the ghosts in an old apartment that I had. This ghost was throwing things across the room at them because they didn't like how mean this person was to me and how sneaky they were being behind my back. And this dude was so freaking scared of ghosts, he would like run around the house to get away from them and like jump in my lap like a big crying baby. How old? He's a year older than me, so I must have been 20? 20. I must have been 20, so he was like 21. Yeah, Divine Masculine's laughing at him. Yeah, I would too. I don't blame you, babe. Yeah. But he runs away from ghosts because he's scared of them, so he knows they're real, but he tries to slander me as crazy for being a medium because he's so embarrassed that he's afraid of ghosts, showing that he does believe in them. He just doesn't want to tell people that he knows that I'm legit. He thinks that if he claims that psychic and mediumship and ghosts and things like that are bullshit, then I guess it's a knock at me, but it just makes him look stupid because he runs away from ghosts. Stupid. But then you want to go join a cult with people and gang up on me with psychic mediums? How nuts are you? I mean, this is somebody who can't even keep their underwear clean and peed on my kitchen floor at one point. So not somebody who's credible, not somebody who has anything to say that is viable or worth listening to. And that's why they talk about me. Because if they don't have my name in their mouth, nobody listens to them or gives a shit what they're saying. Nobody cares about them. If they're not talking about me, nobody wants to hear it. And these people confused attention that they were getting by talking about me, so attempts at like energy harvesting kind of basically, with attention that they were getting, but they didn't actually make friends by talking about me. These people don't even like each other. They just had temporary mutual people to talk about me to. But that's a terrible thing to have in common, let alone to base a whole friendship off of, which is what they did. If you base your relationship or friendship or any kind of association on your mutual hatred for someone else, you have nothing. Because when they leave the equation and remove themselves from you, what do you have left but your own self-loathing between each other? So let's do this. That's gross. One of these karmics is dirty. I just smelled your ass. You need a bath. Now, I take multiple showers a day. I don't need a shower because I'm not clean. I need a shower because I shower regularly for energetic and, honestly, temperature purposes. But I just smelled that. It smells like cedar wood in my house. It's not here. But I smelled your ass. It smells like you have a diaper on and you need a bath. A dirty diaper at that. You smell nasty. Go wash yourself. Yeah, see, I saw that. Somebody just sniffed their armpit. You sniffing yourself to see if it's you that I can smell? I smelled that. This is a karmic. It looks like a karmic female to me, actually. And she's so busy stalking me that she hasn't had time to put her ass in a bathtub. I know you don't have the time to wash yourself. You spend all of it harassing me. I can tell you've got a dirty butthole, ma'am. Go clean it. Don't forget to wash behind your ears. These children, they sound like these are people who need people to draw their bathtubs for them and put rubber duckies in them too with some bubble bath. Like, fucking get a grip, dude. 138.22. Good Lord. Rubber ducky, you're the one. I heard that. Sesame Street bullshit. Come on now. You guys are children. Not in a good way. But you know what I'm also picking up? Divine masculine and feminine coming together like Ernie and Bert. Oh, 11:11. Yeah, here's C on the clock on the East Coast. Told you. All right, let me do these shields. Here's the whoa. Here's the mirror shield. Here's the brick house shield. Very solid, sturdy energy. Effectively impenetrable. I also still have that lead shield, so that's like a... They're separate, but yes. Similar. One's more of a booster for the other in this case. How it's coming across. Or they work together to act as a booster. Like a booster pack, kind of. Booster duo. The lead shield also has these porcupine quill type of things that stick out, kind of like a sea urchin. Not towards people who are good for you, not towards healthy soul frequencies, but when you have people who are trying to cause you harm, it's like a kind of like an airbag system. It automatically deploys. Or, I mean, really, like a porcupine. When something threatens... Porcupines have quills all the time, right? But they don't shoot them out. Like, they rocket outwards. They... Like throwing a dart, they shoot them outwards, for those who do not know, at people. Like, you do not have to touch a porcupine. If a dog gets too close, they'll do this thing where they release them like little daggers that shoot out of them, and they get stuck. But that animal does not have to be touched by another animal for it to shoot darts out, basically. And it doesn't just shoot darts for no reason. It only does it when it's scared and it's being threatened. Or some kind of predatory energy. Even if it's not scared, it knows it needs to protect itself. 142.22. So that's what that is. Don't be threat. Don't be threatening. That's all these people are, though. And even their attempts to try to make themselves seem non-threatening, they're predatory. That's a threat, dude. Your energy speaks before you do. You don't have to. It's gross. Say less. Okay, here is a... just a general aura shield. Like a prism. Karmics are saying, we're going to regret it for not leaving her alone. Yeah, there it is. Also, if we pull these dirty cops into it, she already knows, and people are going to know, and they already know. Yeah, you're all just bringing more attention to yourselves. The more you try to point fingers, the more you try to cause damage, the more you try to cover things up, the more you expose yourself at this point. You're just making your karma worse. So you're just bringing more of a spotlight onto yourselves. Like I said yesterday, it's a good thing orange is your favorite color because it's your new black. I hear blame it on bad luck by Bayside. It's not bad luck, it's your bad karma, consequences of your actions. Okay. That's my cue. Please remember to pray. Namaste.